Everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be all about making a plan and taking action on my life. Now, I know that sounds really extreme, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to be extreme, especially when I'm coming out of a bit of a slump or a rut or just a bad week. It feels nice to feel like you're coming at it with a game plan and really taking action on what you want to do and starting fresh. So however you want to call it, this video is just going to take you guys through what I'm going to be doing for this kind of fresh start, making a plan, and not just making a plan because you can end there and then do nothing, but figuring out what are some actionable steps that I can take once I've made this plan, once I've laid out my goals, to really get the ball rolling and get moving towards these goals. So what inspired this video? Well, I had a really bad week this week. As I'm sitting here filming this, it's Friday and I barely got any work done. It was really one of those weeks where I didn't feel my best. I just did kind of the bare minimum. I didn't go above and beyond. And whenever I have those weeks, I like to remind myself that it's absolutely okay, but I don't feel my best when a week like that ends. So today I thought it would be a good idea to just sit down, lay it all out, and make a plan. How can I do better next week? So we're sitting at my desk. I've got my computer here. I never film here, so it feels very official to be sitting at my desk. So I recommend that you guys watch this video maybe with like a notebook open or notes on your computer, because I would love for you to kind of do this alongside me. Maybe come back to this video, like watch this video, come back to it again, and maybe even over and over again when you feel like you need those fresh starts, because I don't know about you, but I take them all the time and I don't think there's any shame in that. So I was reflecting on this yesterday because yesterday I was driving back from visiting my family in Ottawa, and whenever I'm there, I'm never as productive as I like to be, and I come back and I'm like, I need a fresh start. So I was reflecting on this yesterday and I just did kind of a brain dump, and I really like the way everything came out, and so that's like the inspiration for this video. So I'm gonna read to you guys what I wrote down. Basically, I wrote down that I want to do a brain dump. I want to make that brain dump and then take away what actions can I take right away. Like, how many times do we set a goal and then just kind of sit back and wait for that goal to happen? And it's like, that's cool, and sometimes things will come to you naturally, but sometimes you gotta put in a little work to get there. So the brain dump and then the list of actions, I think, is really what's going to be the core of this video and the core exercise. But I wanna recommend, before you go into listing out all of your goals and listing out these actions that you wanna take, I think it's so important to first reflect. Reflect on what made you have a bad week, or if you were in a rut, what was contributing to that feeling of being in a rut? And then flip that and think, well, what makes you feel good? What are the things that are going to enable you to do these actions to accomplish these goals? So I put together this kind of 3-step plan. We love a plan for you guys, and then just to add some structure to me doing this activity and to this video in general. So step number 1 is going to be reflect. Step number 2 is going to be the brain dump. And then step number 3 is going to be the action plan. So first things first, let's talk about reflection. Now, you can pause this video, grab your pen and paper, sit down somewhere cozy and start journaling. But if that feels like a lot of pressure at a random time, I encourage you just to watch this video, soak everything in, and then do this on your own time when you're feeling really good. I did a lot of my reflections yesterday, and I'm gonna share with you guys my sort of findings or my takeaways. So the first thing I asked myself was, what got in my way last week when I had a bad week? So there was noise, there was kind of clutter. My dad's house is very chaotic. I love my dad so much, but it's a very chaotic place. He likes to have, noise and radio going, and he's on the phone a lot, and his house can be very cluttered. And I realized that I need to feel peace in order to be able to think and to do my best work. If the space around me or the environment around me is overwhelming, cluttered, noisy, I can't get anything done, I freak out. And what made me realize this was I went into my dad's room because in the morning, his room is the room that gets the most sunlight. So I went in there to actually write out the plan for this video, and his room was like so tidy, so clean, and the sun was coming in. And when I went in there and I shut the door, I immediately felt overwhelmed with calm. And that's when it clicked that like, okay, if I'm gonna do work and if I'm gonna feel like my best self, and if I'm gonna, I need to be in an environment that feels calm. So that was my first reflection, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So there's always going to be times when our environment is out of our control. If you live with your parents, well, you can't control what they do or the kind of environment that the house is. If you're visiting your parents like I was, same thing, it's out of my control. Maybe you live on your own and most of the time your place is peaceful, but for whatever reason, you've got people in here doing renovations, whatever it may be. There's always a way around that, and I think leaving your place to do work can be super beneficial. My first thought was like, well, last week I could have just gone to a cafe, but that's expensive, and it's not always like, I don't know. And then I had this thought, and I'm like, I'm a genius. The library, you guys, the library is often a calm, serene environment, and it's a perfect place to do work. And I feel like once I finished school, I forgot that libraries existed, but you have city public libraries. You also have public universities libraries that between certain hours, anyone in the city has access to. So those can be great resources where if you need a place that's calm to go and get work done, that's an amazing resource. The next thing I realized is if I am not sleeping, I cannot wake up and be my best self the next day. Like if I have more than one day in a row of bad sleep, like it's over. So prioritizing my sleep is gonna have to be a part of my action plan. The next one is movement and fresh air. If I lock myself in my house all day, if I just sit in a blob on the couch all day, I have no motivation. And again, I just don't feel like my best self. I'm not going to get my best work done. So those two thoughts led me to this kind of takeaway, and I highlighted it on my notes. I said, what makes you feel like your best self? Feeling like your best self is the ticket to achieving your dreams. How can you do your best when you don't feel good? It's like so true, you guys. When you think about your goals, it's you as your best self who's achieving those goals, right? Or maybe your goal is to simply be your best self and feel like your best self. Well, for me, like sleeping, movement, eating well, like those are all components of being my best self. And if I'm staying up late watching TV and not taking care of my movement and not taking care of what I put in my body, well, how am I gonna feel like the next day I wanna get up and like perform my best and go after my dreams? It just doesn't make sense. And you guys, the last one I realized is happiness. How can I do my best work if I'm not happy? Like okay, I'll give an example. Last week, I got in a fight with my mom and it ruined my mood for the rest of the day and even for the rest of the week. Like I'm still, not over it. But if something happens to you and that day, like you're not feeling happy, there is no use trying to grind through these things because you're not feeling good. Like, it's a privilege to say like, wait until you're in a good mood to do your work. But I think also trying to control your mood and being aware of how your mood affects your work is going to take you a long way. And let me clarify that I'm saying work, but let's just use the word work to be anything towards your goals. It doesn't have to be your corporate job. Like if your goal is that you love knitting and you want to start your knitting business, well, knitting is the work. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's my reflection. Again, I really, really encourage you guys to sit down with your computer, with your journal, whatever it may be, and really reflect on these things. You can reflect on what I said. You can reflect on what else is getting in the way of my goals? Do I have a fear of something that's getting in the way? Is it my environment? Do I need to start doing like Zoe said and going to the library? Whatever it may be, take the time you need to reflect before putting any pressure on yourself to go after any crazy goals. All right, you guys, so now it's time to do the brain dump, and this is just so fun for me. Like I'm overreacting. let's go make a coffee. It's been so long since we've made a nice latte espresso on this channel. It's been so long since I've made one in general, but I think this is the perfect activity to do with like a coffee side by side. So let's head over to my kitchen and make a nice coffee before we get into the brain dump. We got the coffee. I don't know, I'm such a loser, like being so excited about my coffee. Many of you know I stopped doing Nespresso and started doing French press, and I was just like saving my Nespresso for a special occasion. I don't know if it's just like I never got the hang of the French press or what, but I also found that brewed coffee, so like anytime I would drink it from the French press, would make me so jittery. And I did a little bit of research, and apparently that's normal. Like espresso is a different type of coffee, or it could be the beans, that espresso doesn't give me that like jittery feeling that when I would make it in the French press, it really did. But honestly, what ended up happening is I just stopped drinking coffee and pretty much switched to tea completely. It did have a big effect on my anxiety. For the most part, lattes like this, or like this is like a teeny latte or like a cappuccino kind of thing, they don't do me too bad, especially if I just have one. So it's a special occasion, you know, we're at the desk, and now it's time to do the brain dump. You guys, I need to give a huge thank you to Pila for sponsoring this video. Look at all these phone cases. You guys, Pila makes the best phone cases in the world because they are cute, they are sturdy, they are long lasting, and they are biodegradable. So I told you guys all about Pila in my Vancouver vlog, but real quick, in case you missed it, Pila is a Canadian company that makes biodegradable phone cases. Now, I showed you guys in that vlog all of the amazing cases they sent me. This one is the first case that I actually bought from them last summer. And then they sent me this mushroom one. They sent this stone one. And the one I've had on my phone for the last month or so, which is the Yoga Girls. So I feel ready to change up my case, and I'm gonna take off the Yoga Girls one and put on the mushroom one. This is so nice. My friend Mary actually ordered it as well. And what I love about it is, first of all, just the look, but that it's engraved, so it has a bit of texture on it. Look how good that looks. So when you're done with your phone cases, I'm not done with this one, I'm definitely gonna put it back on, but let's just imagine I changed phones or something. Rather than have this case go in the garbage and sit in the landfill, you can literally put this in your municipal compost box. How insane is that? I think it's so cool. So rather than go into all of the details like I did last time, I want to show you guys this cute clip of me gifting my best friend a Pila case, because she's actually the one who introduced me to the brand. Okay. Okay, no, it's really nothing. I got you a present, and it's behind the cushion.
It's like, are you pregnant?
I know. No, I'm not.
Oh! Oh, it's such a nice color. So nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I can change it up now. I have it right here. Surprise, mine is also same brand.
Yeah, it was you who showed me this brand.
And it's great. The only thing, and
From the pop socket?
Yeah. Mine broke, so you can kind of see the outline. But other than that, honestly, from like far away, you can't tell. It's just like...
Yeah, you know what's funny? It shows up more on camera.
Oh, really?
Than,
but, oh my god, it's going to look so good. Let's do it. Hold on. Oh, beautiful.
That's really nice.
So nice.
So yeah, that was so fun. That was taken yesterday. So now we both have fresh new cases on our phone for spring. And if you want to get a new phone case as well, I have an amazing discount code for you guys. It is 40% off. So you can get 40% off your entire purchase at pila.com, and this is for the first 50 people to use that code. So I know a bunch of you got your hands on it last time and ordered your Pila case. I hope you are loving it, and if you missed it last time, it's back. 40% off on the website. Thank you so much, Pila, for sponsoring this video. I love working with them. I love your products. It's so amazing to work with a sustainable Canadian brand. As usual, thank you to you guys as well who make it possible for me to work with awesome companies like this. If you order a new Pila case, let me know in the comments which one you got. I'll be super curious to know. So there are 3 things that I'm going to be thinking about for this brain dump, and that is goals, dreams, and roadblocks. So what do I mean by this? A goal is like something specific. A goal is like hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, have $10,000 in a specific savings account, get promoted to senior accountant by this date. That's like a goal to me. That's something really specific. A dream to me is more, you know, broad, and it's also kind of like a feeling. So for me, a dream is like, and you could say this is a goal too, but a dream is like to be a YouTuber. To be self-employed is like a dream. It is a goal, but it's like, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than something tiny and specific. Another thing that I think of like a dream is like a dream vacation to go to Italy. I've never been, always wanted to go. That's like a dream to me. So that's kind of how I separate them. And I think it's so important to not just focus on those nitty-gritty goals, but what dreams do you have as well? Because those dreams, I think, are really where happiness and fulfillment come from in life, not just like constantly checking off these boxes about goals, but getting to that overall feeling of a happy and fulfilled life. Like, what more can you ask for? And then roadblocks. What is standing in your way? This could be yourself. This could be relationships in your life. This could be your boss. I don't know. So that's what this brain dump is for. I pulled out my little notebook here. I like doing this kind of stuff by hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it all by hand, and then I'll transfer it to my computer once I make it like a little bit more concrete. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, that was really fun. I find it so soothing to write down my goals and my dreams. Even the roadblocks, it's good to acknowledge them. And I just do that sitting in silence because I like to just be quiet with my thoughts. So let me share with you guys what I wrote. So for my goals, I wrote have to reach 50,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is July 30th, 2022. The next is to earn a living income from YouTube so that I can save all of my freelance paychecks. So I've like always loved having a side job, and when I was working corporate, YouTube was my side job, and I pretty much saved all of my YouTube paychecks. So what I would love is for YouTube to become my main job and to keep doing freelance work and save all of those paychecks. I said to reach this in 6 months, and I just did that to put like a date to it, but I understand that things are so variable that I'm not going to beat myself up if this doesn't happen in 6 months. And I'll know it worked when I'm able to cover all of my expenses, even if that still means like living frugally, but being able to pay my rent, pay my gas, pay for all my expenses simply from my YouTube earnings, and then save everything I make from my freelance copywriting work. The next thing I wrote is 4 workouts a week plus my co-pilot plan. So my co-pilot is this personal training plan that I'm on. So I want to just follow that, and the 4 workouts are included in that, but the co-pilot plan also includes like some running and some strength training. I then wrote healthy eating 80-20. So 80% of the time you're eating healthy and clean and indulging and eating whatever you want the rest of the 20%. I wrote run 2 times weekly 5K starting in June. I just really want to be the type of person who runs outside in the summer. So that means getting ready now, which is part of my co-pilot plan. And then in the summertime when it's warm out, twice a week going out for a 5K run. Then wrote $10,000 in my emergency fund by my birthday. Next is take care of taxes and act like a business. Now, taxes scare me a lot. And being self-employed, your tax situation's different, earning things from YouTube, like it's all super complicated. But the longer I put it off, the more it's going to make me anxious. So I need to start treating myself and treating my YouTube like a business and doing like the proper accounting and taking care of my expenses and putting tax money aside and all of that. Next was debt-free by the end of April without counting my car loan. So that's coming up soon. And the very last thing is I want to fully save up and buy my Gucci wallet. I've had my eye on this little Gucci wallet for a long time, and I just think it would be a nice symbol of my hard work that I can save up for it and purchase it. And there's no date on that because I think the other financial goals are more important. But if I can put the money aside for it and fully save up for it, then why not indulge myself? So the next section was my dreams. Now I wrote save up and spend January and February of 2023 in Florida. I think those are the worst months here, and I do not plan on spending them in Quebec or Canada or whatever. I need to get out of here next winter. I wrote live happy and anxiety free. That's kind of just like my overall dream of life is like, you know, to feel my best and to live happy and not be squashed by my anxiety on the daily. And then the last thing is my vision board. I love doing vision boards. I made this one in January and I never actually shared it with you guys because I was a bit shy or for whatever reason, but I have a full video on how I made it. It's last year's video, but I will link it down below if you want to make your own, and let's cut to me showing you my vision board for this year. So this is my dream board, my vision board. It's a lot more chill than last year's. Like last year's I probably had twice the amount of pictures, but this year I just really feel like my goal this year is just like discovery and like really keep it simple and just focus on happiness above all. So this is what I put on my vision board. We'll start up here. Girl in a sweatsuit with the words my own designs. I would love to make like merch and kind of design my own fun sweatsuits because I love to wear those and I just think it would be so cool to like have my designs on them. I already have some ideas and yeah, I want to make that come to life this year. This one is Escape to the Sun, and I just thought this picture was gorgeous with like the blue background and her fun hat. This year, like I had a really rough time this winter, and next year it's a no for me. That's winter stuff. It's a no for me. This bag is just so cute, and it just kind of exemplifies like luxury and like working hard and being able to purchase, you know, just a couple luxury items for myself, like items that I've been dreaming of. And yeah, I just really liked this picture. This one is obviously like yoga, and I really liked it because there's this city in the background. It kind of reminded me of New York. Last year I put New York on my vision board, but it didn't happen. Not saying specifically that so it's not to say that it's like that specific and it's like to symbolize doing yoga in New York, but just kind of like flexibility. I really like doing yoga and then also like the city aspect. This photo, I put it on here and then I was like, is this toxic? But I just liked how tan she was. yeah, I don't know. I thought like the matcha, like it was just a cool photo. And it's just to symbolize like healthy, and then also like the tan, and just having like this kind of healthy glow about you, I thought was really nice. That's what I liked about that picture. Here we have the cash, you know, love it. And I wrote financial freedom, and I also wrote here 100,000 subscribers, pretty self-explanatory. Down here we have 2 photos of Italy, and I wrote lovers in Italy because I would love to take a trip to Italy with my boyfriend. So yeah, that's my vision board. Now, the last thing is the roadblocks. Let's talk about it. The first is obviously money. You know, you got to save up for a lot of those things. I got to earn money, got to, you know, money. It's important. The next thing is that I say yes too often. So oftentimes, like someone's like, oh, you know, let's go out for brunch, or let's, like, I just say yes too often, and I need to kind of put my foot down sometimes. And that's a lesson that I'm working on. The next thing, it kind of is related to saying yes too often, but it's never staying put. Like, I've always been like this, but I'm like always on the move. Like, my parents say they miss me, I drive home to Ottawa, or like just always like being on the move. And it's like, you need to sit still and get your shit done, Zoe. So that's a roadblock. And the last one is the fear of failure. I think I definitely self-sabotage by just being afraid to mess something up. So that I don't even start. So that's everything that I wrote down. Now, then the last step is going to be figuring out what actions to take on these. And it's all fun to write these down, but if you don't make a plan to take action, how the heck are any of them going to come true? So this is where I'm going to transfer things to my computer. I am going to use Notion to write down all of these goals, and then have bullet points under it of what are the action plans I'm going to do. So let me get to work on that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so let's finish it up with the actionable steps, which is probably the most important part, right? If we don't set these actions, we're just not gonna do it. So let me share with you first some of the actionable steps that I wrote for my goals. I'll show you on the screen how I put this into Notion. I love Notion because it makes notes look super aesthetic and also organized. So you can see that I did a header with the word goals, and then each goal is highlighted in green with the action steps in bullets underneath. So I'm not gonna go through every one because this video is already quite long, but let me show you. For 50,000 subscribers by my birthday, the steps I'm going to take are to upload 3 times a week, to play around and test my thumbnails to hopefully gain more views and to make them more attractive and to bring in a new audience, and to continuously upload popular content, so the content that does really well and brings more people onto my channel, such as money videos and Q&As. You guys really love those, and also they help bring in new subscribers. For the taking care of my taxes and acting like a business, this is one that has a really easy actionable step, which is to sign up for QuickBooks. My dad uses QuickBooks for his business, and he was showing me how to use it, and I'm just like, yeah, I need to get on that for my own business. So that is something that I can take action on literally today. And then the other thing is to schedule in my calendar monthly business check-ins with myself to really act like a business and close my books every month and do what I gotta do, even though it scares me. I did the same thing in Notion for my roadblocks. So for money, I wrote set payment terms on my contracts. It was actually thanks to you guys who gave me this idea. I never even thought that I could do that, but rather than allow some of my sponsorship contracts to have payment schedules that are 30 days or 60 days out, like set a minimum of 15 days. And then the next step is to follow up diligently with those overdue invoices. So if something is taking longer than the 15 days, or if it's an old contract and it's taking longer than the 30 days, follow up diligently and not be afraid of like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Like, get your money. You did the work, you go get your money. And the last thing is to ask for more contract work. I love doing my freelance work. It's work that I find fun and fulfilling. So why not ask for more? Or if my current contract is not able to give me more, then I can put myself out there and sign up for more contracts. And for the fear of failure, I wrote, just start. Like, just starting is often the hardest part. And so just making dates with myself, putting things in my calendar and sitting down here at my desk and getting it done, that is how to overcome the fear of failure. Rereading a lot of kind comments. Like, you guys leave the nicest, most heartwarming things on my video. And when I feel unworthy or when I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job, I should and I need to start going back and rereading those comments and remembering, like, you know, the impact that my videos can have on people, and also the impact that you guys have on me. So I think going back and rereading those things is gonna help me not only stay motivated, but also remember that there's no need to have this fear of failure. Lastly, with the fear of failure, I need to start consuming more motivational but healthy motivational content. Not that aspirational, that girl stuff that for me is extremely toxic. I need to watch more videos that are empowering and really give those like secrets to success and motivation to keep me feeling uplifted. And if I'm feeling uplifted, then those feelings of failure shouldn't be able to creep in. Okay, you guys, that is a wrap on this video. That was such a fun exercise, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling so motivated to stay right here at my desk and start knocking out some of those goals. Now, it's going to be really important that I continuously check in with those goals, because along with the actionable steps, if you're not checking in and either acknowledging and congratulating yourself for achieving a goal, but also if you're not achieving your goal, figuring out where you need to rework something or if that goal is even still relevant is so important. So I'm gonna start doing videos like this, like monthly. I've been seeing a lot of people do these monthly check-ins. I love Carter Sullivan. She's like so inspirational, and again, it goes back to that motivational and inspirational content that I was talking about. So I'm gonna start doing these monthly. Let me know in the comments if you liked this one. Let me know any goals that you are setting so we can hold each other accountable and keep each other motivated and just cheer each other on. I think I've talked so much this morning. I am going to actually open back up my computer and keep getting to work. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.